today, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Washington football team.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Washington football team. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. The streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. Here comes Johnson on the return. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a third-round pick back in 2018 out of Oklahoma State. It's Mason Rudolph.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
It's second and inches at their 48-yard line.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
50-yard line.
From the 50, it's Rudolph. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
What a waste of time.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
56.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Ball carrier. Tackle made at the 21-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 13.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rudolph. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Makes the score Steelers 3. Washington nothing.
Weather like this, always treacherous errors for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won, and one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game: surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here, and I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and
3. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards, a first down. Just the first quarter of tackling going so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally marked down at the 23.
He's brought down.
Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed.
And normally when you see guys move it this fast, it might be a fly pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
3. Washington, nothing.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
A 2-yard gain on the play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Quarterback is sacked. A loss of 2 yards.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. So now on 4th down, Washington will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. It's a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3.
3-3.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with
like
sports.
That. They crack a forehand back at him. They get a backhand. What was the serve? Which return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
A really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On 1st down, Rudolph. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here comes a 1st down throw from Rudolph. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
The pickup brings up 2nd and 2.
Rudolph loses the football. It's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. He's at the 30. 10. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Big boy earning his lunch. That's what you call rumbling with the ball, Charles.
Big man with football. He wasn't just earning lunch, Brandon. He was earning dinner. He was
midnight snack.
Everything that you could possibly do, he did it on that play to pick up the ball and go.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And it is up.
He is good.
And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. From the red zone now, Rudolph. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Rudolph. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Rudolph. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said forget about the sticks. We want 6.
Next is Washington 10, Steelers 6.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game. isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away. Now he'll pull it down. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plex?
Looking into the snowflakes, and he muffs it. It's the visitor. On 1st and 10, Rudolph. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Back to the air, Rudolph on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's third down.
Landon Collins on the coverage.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. Ebron caught left side. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3 except in certain situations.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional, didn't come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. And he comes back with one complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this.
The quarterback on the scramble. 24-yard gain on the play.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks. He's going to take off with it, and he'll be out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll set up to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jeremy Sprinkle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Returning it, Johnson. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Rudolph. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get, and this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. And certainly starting to appear that they might finally be about to suffer that first loss of the season. What a heck of a run through 3 months, though, but they trail big here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25.
Here's Rudolph. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for it.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Chase Young. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And that'll be incomplete. Pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Rudolph loses the football. It's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're looking for proof of his speed, Next Gen Stats shows that he was traveling just over 21 miles an hour there. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. We get a glance at the Washington defense as they head back out there. Recovered the fumble up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball at the last possession. They feel like they can go ahead and do it again. They are locked in and feeling good about how this game is going.
And they're playing free. They're playing loose.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, sometimes it can be a bad thing if you're too free, too loose, and you give up your responsibilities. But not this unit. They are ready to go.
Rudolph loses the football. It's out. And does Washington have it? They do. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for Washington. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominant. threats in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep, and boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth quarter hold. Under pressure, they got him again. Chase Young in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word.
Rudolph loses the football. It's out. And does Washington have it? They do.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Rolling to his left. He'll run it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. A strong safety, Sean Davis, there to break up that pass play. I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. That's caught. It's Thomas. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And, oh, that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. He'll buy some time right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And got his man complete.
Nothing here! Nothing here!
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but that he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack on first down, Rudolph, and the pressure gets to him again.
Get ready!
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15, and he'll be down at the 6-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. He'll try and run it. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 2. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, there will be no perfect season here as the win streak to start the year ends at 11. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.